Hey, it's Bighara here with a quick installment of my video blog. I know it's been a while, and that's why I'm just sort of seizing this opportunity here in the break room to just pull out the iPad and record a few quick thoughts. Recently, Wizards of the Coast released the PDF versions of several old products, including some that used to be available that they had taken off the market several years ago. These are sort of cleaned up versions of the files. They're nicer quality, um, and I think that's great. Some people were asking me about what I thought that might mean for things like retro clones and old school Renaissance type products, adventure settings, and so forth. I don't think it really means that much for them. While for people who bought things or downloaded things like Labyrinth Lord or Osric or Swords and Wizardry because they liked the old versions of the games but couldn't get copies of the rules easily, or at least enough copies for everybody in their group to play, I can understand how you might say, well, why will I keep using this retro clone when I can get back to the original? And that's a reasonably fair point. Also, it's nice to be able to play the classic adventures. If you didn't have a copy of, Tomb of Horrors or whatever it is, you can go ahead and get a copy now, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do think that the OSR community, whatever you want to call it, offers something that those don't, which is, of course, new material. And I think it's nice to be able to do things like produce and publish adventures for the games that you really enjoy, which is what I do, and also to be able to buy adventures that maybe you haven't played 20 times, or it's not something that's 20, 30 years old and may have as much a nostalgia factor for you as actually how good an adventure it is to play as an adult. And I'm not knocking any of the old modules. I mean, obviously some may have been better written than others, but it's just saying that if you've already played something once or twice or even 3 or 4 times, you may want to be able to have a resource for something new. So, I don't think that this is such a big deal in terms of what it means for that gaming community. The gaming community that focuses on those editions of the games and those kinds of games is not huge. I mean, the pen and paper role-playing community is just not that huge. And I don't really think it's something where it has to be an either-or. I mean, I've run classic TSR modules using Labyrinth Lord and things like that without much trouble at all, because the rules are almost entirely the same. And what isn't the same is pretty easily adjudicated. There's no reason that the reverse couldn't happen, that you could get a copy of the original Molde basic rules on the PDF and use Labyrinth Lord modules or something with it without much trouble at all. So I think it's a plus for the hobby, for the people interested in that aspect of the hobby in general. I don't think it's a move by Wizards of the Coast to edge out the OSR or anything like that. Do I think that maybe some people might not buy a copy of Osric or Labyrinth Lord or Swords and Wizardry? Instead, they might buy the TSR rulebook PDF? Maybe. But that's another point. They're PDF. They're not print. And some people like to have a physical rulebook. So I think there's a lot of factors in there. Anyway, this is just, like I say, a quick recording of a few thoughts, and hopefully there'll be another video fairly soon, not as long a gap since the last one before this. That's all for now. Talk to you later.